Welcome to the Why Not podcast, hosted by Chrissy and Yvonne. In a world where everyone asks why, we're here to ask, why not?
Hey everyone, my name is Yvonne and I'm 29. I'm a body positive feminist yoga teacher. Been on this journey of self-discovery for the last few years, really just learning how to take better care of myself, fill my life with self-love, and just learning how to be kind and gentle to others along the way. I'm really interested in all things mental health and personal development.
Hi, my name's Chrissy. I'm a personal trainer, gym enthusiast, and part-time equestrian. My goal here is to help people feel better about themselves by helping them strengthen their mindset and their body image. And I want them to be able to do things that they never thought they could believe possible. So if that sounds like something you want to do, I want to help you.
Good morning, Chrissy. How are you today?
I'm good, and how are you, Yvonne?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you for asking.
You just started laughing.
It's just so funny. Like, I've already said good morning to you 7 minutes ago, and here I go again.
No, you haven't. We've just started recording.
It just seemed really funny to me for a minute, and I don't know why.
Shows her how to practice we are.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, first of all, apologies for the delay in this episode. I guess life got in the way a little bit for a few weeks. I guess that's normal. It happens.
Yeah, we've hopefully got a recording schedule now that we have going forward that should get us back to our weekly episodes. Because I know you've all been missing it so much.
Of course. I've been missing it too.
Yeah, same.
And I guess when we started this, we were in like the full lockdown. I hate even saying the word now. We were in full lockdown, so we kind of had like so much time, and then slowly got back to work and everything as things became normal again. Now, looks like we might be digressing back to lockdown a little bit. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see what happens anyway. Best thing to do is just keep going as we haven't discussed on this, we've discussed each other. We just kind of keep going and see what happens. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that does lead us nicely into what we kind of want to talk about today. And that is just how to deal with uncertainty, how to deal with this stress, because I think we're all dealing with it in different ways, and that's okay. I definitely have found this time round much more stressful. Maybe it's just because it's the second time like all this is happening, and it's like, oh my God, here we go again. But, and like, I guess the last time we didn't know what was to come. This time we kind of do. Like this time
I was going to say that, yeah, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like, remember when all this started, it was like, we're going to do a 3-week lockdown and that's it. Like, that was back in, what, March or something?
Yeah.
And here we are in October and we're potentially doing another one. Like, it's really, really hard. I think it has been really, really hard on people. I'm definitely finding it really hard. I'm going to be completely straight up about it. I've found it really tough.
Yeah, I get you. Oddly enough, I've been kind of okay with it, but I suppose that's me saying on this side of it. Maybe if I went into it, I'd be like, oh, but I kind of like, part of me is kind of like, look, I'd rather go with it, let it happen again, and get rid of this thing for good than prolong it. Maybe that's my kind of way of looking at it.
Yeah, I get you. To be honest, like, I'm gonna do what I'm told, like, as much as I might moan about it. No, I won't moan about it. But like, as much as it might stress me out and I hope it doesn't happen, like, I'm obviously going to follow the guidelines. But I guess, yeah, to be honest, like, if it happened, if we did go into lockdown or whatever, and it happened, it would be fine. I'd figure it out. We figure it all out all the time. Everything is always okay. And that's really important. I think it is the uncertainty right now. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? What's our lives going to look like? We don't know. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I think that's worse than actual it happening. If at least if you knew it happened, you'd be like, okay, right, I can prepare for this. But it's hard to prepare if you don't know what's going to happen. And then obviously with it being the kind of situation that no one's very enthused about, for want of a better description. Like, you don't want to prepare for something you don't want to happen. So it's kind of something you wouldn't prep for until until it happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I feel like,
definitely. And it is
um,
just a sense of living day to day right now, which I think is really, really important. Like, it's the only way to kind of get up every morning and just do what you've got to do and give it your all and try enjoy your day and not think about what's coming tomorrow, which, to be honest, is like a way of life I would have tried to live anyway, even though that's not always possible. But trying to live in the moment as much as possible has always kind of been my way, because I feel like if you don't, you're just stuck in either dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. There's just no point.
yeah. Now, I'd be quite the one, like, we've discussed before, like, I'm quite a planner and I like to plan things and stuff like that. In this situation, I think I'm kind of looking at it going, like, okay, this is the way my week is going. This is the way my week will be. And if that changes, fine. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh God, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like still in my plan mode, but with a bit of living in the moment, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
not making any sense this morning.
No, it totally makes sense. And I think the not making sense is all very relevant, because that is how it is right now. Nothing really does make sense. And the rules that are brought out are not, they don't really make sense to me. But like, I know, like, to be honest, the government don't know what they're doing, which is fair. Like, they really don't know what they're doing. How would you know what you're doing right now? None of us know what we're doing. But
Yeah,
I do, the rules do seem really kind of arbitrary for the most part. And it's just really hard to feel like you've any consistency in your life. And
yeah,
for me, consistency is really important. Like, and routine and stuff is really, really important for my mental health. And I think
yeah,
at the moment it's just really hard to find anything consistent.
yeah. I totally understand where you're, and I think, like, I would be quite similar. Like, I do like a routine as well. And I suppose, in a sense, I've managed to keep it. Both of us, I think, have managed to keep our routine so far.
Yeah.
There is the potential for that to change, but I said, like, living in the moment and taking it day by day is the best way to go with it right now, because all you'll do is, if you're sitting there going, oh God, oh God, oh God, this might happen, this might happen, this might happen, like, it's only going to stress you out. It's not going to change anything, like, this could happen. That's fine. Not fine, but, like, you know what I mean? The only person it's gonna affect by constantly worrying about it and thinking about it is you. Like, it's not going to change the situation.
Definitely.
And I think we need to remember that. And I think as well, it's like, I know people are venting and they're stressed and stuff like that, and giving out about the likes of the government, or giving out about this rule and that rule and blah blah blah. Like, I think, again, it's only going to affect you. It's not going to change stuff. Like, if you give out the you don't like this, it's not going to change what's been brought in or the plan. Which, like, I'm not saying that they're all right, and I do disagree with some of them, but I can't be arsed getting mad about it, because it's only going to affect me in the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's such a fair point. Like, this will bring us into probably the next part of this episode, but one of the things I've had to do is delete my social media, because I actually can't look anymore about people giving out about it now. I guess we're kind of adding to fueling the fire right now, because we're doing the exact same thing. But like, I can't actually listen to people talk about it anymore, or look at people posting about it. So I've just decided, like, I've kind of been on and off social media for the last few weeks, months, whatever. I kind of delete it and then I get it back, and then I delete it and then I get it back, and change my username, like, whatever. But I think I'm done for now. Who knows? I might come back again. But like, the stress of seeing people give their opinions about it, like, honestly, I don't give a fuck. Can I just say that? I don't care what most people think about it. I'm so over it. Like, I have my opinions about it. I'm not even going to share them on this. Like, I'm not, because I couldn't be arsed. My opinion actually doesn't matter to anyone else's life except mine.
Yeah.
And it's, again, it's not going to change how this whole thing plays out, because it's my experience and I'm entitled to those feelings, and I I feel really strongly about them. Obviously, it's my experience, it's my feelings, and I have dealt with them in my therapy because it's affecting my life. Everyone's life is affected right now in different ways. I think it's really important to feel what you're feeling. It's okay if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling angry, like those feelings are totally valid and that's okay. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have feelings. We all do. And I know people do take to social media to express themselves. But remember, like what you're posting might be really upsetting someone or might be really stressing someone else's life out, like by your constant kind of talking about it. I know at the moment, one thing that's driving me up the wall is I'm working in a restaurant at the moment,
Yeah.
and customers will come in, and I know they're just making conversation and whatever, it's fair enough. But we almost have like this kind of unwritten rule in there that we don't really talk about it. Like we just don't. We're in there, we do our job, and that's it. We don't, like amongst the staff, really talk about it. It never really comes up, or very rarely. And then a customer will come in and make a comment like, "I hope you guys don't close." And I'm like, I don't need to hear that right now.
Yeah.
Like, please, that's the kind of thing you can keep to yourself. I don't need that as part of my day.
It's like
Again,
the
I
new
know
weather
this
chat, isn't
conversation.
it?
Yeah, it's the new weather.
Oh, jeez, it's raining and COVID.
I miss the weather chat. I'd rather chat about the weather.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it's so. I think what I'm saying is maybe I'm just so tired of hearing people talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
You know what, as well? Like, I totally agree with you on the social media thing. And the only reason I'm still on social media at the moment is because I am trying to promote stuff. And there's so many days I look at it and I just want to do. One thing that's getting annoying me, right? So Facebook would be worse for it, I think, in a sense, because do you know the way they put in that thing a while ago, where it's like if there's a post up, you can see like one comment, and like at the bottom of it, if you
On
click,
Facebook.
without clicking into the comments, you'll see one person's like random
Oh,
comment.
yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I do know what you mean.
Sometimes there are
I
people who
haven't had
know.
Facebook for a long time.
Like it's always fucking negative. And the thing that annoys me about it is this isn't just talking about the government or COVID or anything. Like I've started seeing it. It's like, oh, one of my rugby pages I'll follow will post something up, and it's something that they're rehashing, which they do all the time because they want to keep contact going on the page. People are like, oh, you posted that a few months ago. Or like, oh, Leinster have won the competition. They're like, yeah, if they go to Europe, they'll just lose. And you're just like, oh my God, lads, like, is is there anything is to be positive on that platform about? Like you'd probably see like 2-year-old does little dance for friends. Oh yeah, parents probably trained them to do it or something like that. You know what I mean?
It's such a negative space.
Oh, and it's just like wrecking my head, and I'm just like, please all just like take a chill pill and get over yourselves, and maybe like go for a walk or do something instead of just giving out all of the time.
That's the thing. I understand it's an outlet and people are using it as such, but it's such an unhealthy outlet to like I'm definitely a believer in having your feelings, and not all feelings are going to be positive, and that's okay. I don't think it's right to assume that you can, you know, live every day with 100% positive emotions. I actually don't think I believe that there's positive and negative emotions. I think there's just emotions, and
Yeah.
they're all valid. Maybe Facebook isn't the place to deal with them. Maybe find a better outlet, because to be honest, nobody cares, and it's just brings everyone else
But the thing
down.
is, people do care because if you give your angry opinion and some other fecker and wherever has another angry opinion, they get into a row on Facebook. You're arguing with strangers over like the literally stupidest things ever.
It's actually gas though, reading reading like a thread of angry comments.
Also, sometimes I do. I go down a rabbit hole and I watch them. I laugh at the ones who I think are idiots, which is my opinion, and then the other ones going back. And I'm like, yeah.
I do that too. It's actually funny.
It's only on certain occasions I do. Again, like that's because of my opinion agrees with one thing and not the other. So I do have that bias, but it's still enjoyable from time to time. But I am just getting like, it's almost like you're scrolling through and you're just sighing every time you see a comment because you're like, oh, well, it's all just fuck off.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I just can't deal with it right now. And I love taking pictures and I love sharing pictures like of my nieces and my nephew, and it I love social media in a certain way, and like I love the creativeness of it, and there
Mm.
I've gained loads of really good things from social media over the years as well. Like there's loads of really positive movement. I wouldn't know anything about body positivity if it wasn't for social media, and to be honest, that has been such a help for my relationship with my body.
Yeah,
but but then it's not worth it for all the other crap. And I've tried so hard to kind of curate my feed so carefully so that I'm only looking at things that are bringing me either relevant information or happiness, or they're funny or whatever. But to be honest, it always finds its way back in, and it always ends up being a way for me to compare my life to others and feel like my life isn't as good as others, or
mm,
that I'm doing it wrong, or that I've this certain criteria that I need to start fulfilling that I'm not. And like, for what? For
yeah,
who? Who am I doing that for? You know?
that's fair.
Um,
Yeah,
so it's just not helping my life, and especially in these times of uncertainty when we really do not know. And I think that's so important. You don't know. You can make all these assumptions, you can guess, you can listen to the rumors and the gossip, or you can just live your life right now. And you'll learn the rules. They'll tell you.
yeah.
You don't need to speculate.
No, I agree, and I think as well a lot of people are. I don't think people are fully dealing with it by complaining about it all the time. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I'm not
no,
saying
it's this
we're dealing with it by
endless
deciding
thing.
it's not happening.
Well, that's I'm definitely dealing with this by burying my head in the sand.
I'm a little bit like that as well. I'm like, it's not happening.
Yep,
It's not
that's how
happening
I.
yet, but it happens. I'll deal with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think it's anyway. My blinkers are on. I am dealing with today, and that is all.
Yeah, and I think people do have different ways to deal with stuff, but I think so many people at the moment are saying like how this is going to affect mental health again, and blah blah, and like it will, of course it will, especially with the like darker ones. Like it's not going to help either. What is anyone doing to try and look after their mental health in this situation? Is what I really would love to see, because say for instance, so you knew that the social media was affecting your mental health, so you go to therapy because it helped your mental health, but these other people, like, they're venting and stuff, but they're not actually. A lot of people who give out about mental health issues, I don't think they look after their mental health. Do you know what I mean?
I do though. I like having my mental health being, I guess, like a really massive part of my journey and part of my general health, I guess, something I have to deal with on the
Mm.
daily. I do agree that like this is people's mental health has always been on the back burner in Ireland, I think, and
Yeah,
this is just another example of it, that it's such a massive thing that people deal with, and it's a massive killer, and it kills definitely more people than COVID does. It's just, and maybe not even kills, but affects them. And
mm,
oh, it just, anyway, I won't even get into it, but I do agree that, people's mental health is so delicate, and I think right now probably worse. And
yeah,
I guess the people who have massive mental health problems are probably not the ones who are going to be able to deal with it. Like, I think I'm in a part of my journey now where I'm quite well. So it's easy for me to say, oh, social media is causing me stress, deleting it.
yeah,
But I guess there's people, if they're really deep in the depths of their mental illness, like that's not such an easy decision to make, and
yeah.
things get much harder to be proactive about. So I sympathize in that sense. But yeah, I think probably as well there is people complaining about it who don't actually have a problem with their mental health. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I think as well though, like say people who have identified an issue with their mental health, and I'm not saying it's easy to do, and I'm not saying, like as you said yourself, when you're in the depths of it, like you've been really, really deep in it. If you've identified that, you need to do something about it or try to do something about it instead of I have bad mental health. That's it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And like I think if there is anyone listening right now who does have like is really worried about their mental health, if there is like a second lockdown, number one, I hear you. I understand. I'm also worried about my own. But number two, there is hope and there is things that you can do.
Yeah.
And hopefully you do find the strength and courage to find those things and to figure something out for yourself, because I know it's aggravating. I know it's frustrating that you look into the future and you're like, oh God, my mental health cannot cope with this.
Yeah.
But it can. You can do this and you are stronger than you think and you will get through it. And there's loads of things that you can do. Number one, delete your social media.
I
That's
think as
gonna
well,
help.
like small stuff, you know, trying like that social media causing you grief, okay, get rid of it. Maybe even like I know this sounds like I'm gonna sound like the hippie now for once, but like, you know, breath work and meditating like a couple of minutes a day. It's something so simple that can help you calm yourself a little bit, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Build up to things like going for a walk or doing some exercise that are proven to help your mental health. Like, you know, do that walk without your social media. If you're scrolling through your social media on the walk, you may as well be sitting at home, you know?
Very true. Or if you're like, I'm going for a walk, now I'm going to tell everyone that I'm going for a walk.
Yeah.
Here's how many steps I did on my walk. Like, just go for a walk.
Like put
Just
a
enjoy.
podcast on or something, like, and just like put your phone in your pocket and close the pocket, or if anything, leave the phone at home and just be like, yep, here I am. You know?
Yeah, I actually love going out without my phone. It's so liberating.
Like I'm really bad for that, to be fair. I must admit I am very bad for putting it down. But like I can do that and listen to a podcast for a stroll, which is nice. Because like if you
Yeah,
start going on your phone, you don't even hear what you're listening to.
very true.
So it defeats the purpose.
I think I'm really not addicted to my phone. Like,
Yeah,
it's so easy for me to leave it. And I'm
yeah,
really happy about that. Like, probably to the annoyance of everyone else because they'll text me and then I won't get back to them for like 18 hours and I'm like, I'm sorry. But it's because I genuinely just forget about my phone, and sometimes I'm better than others. At the moment, I'm really, really not attached to my phone at
yeah.
all. I think I just hate my phone a bit because it's like, do you know the way, I don't know if this happens in your phone. I've actually figured out how to turn it off, but I really did not know this for a long time because I'm a technophobe. But do you get like on your home screen sometimes, or sorry, not your home screen, like your locks, that like a news article will pop up? Like
Yeah,
it'll just decide, like I didn't ask for it. I don't have a news app or anything.
yeah.
It just
It's update.
tells me. Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't want to know these things. They're causing me stress. But anyway, Mark showed me how to turn those things off. So that's been excellent. But I think before that, like they kept popping up on my phone. So I just kept like not even like my phone. I'll like literally hide it under my pillow or something because I'm like, I don't even want to look at it. It's going to tell me something scary,
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I get them because you've gone into one or two, like, which I do, like, to be honest, I do read the update stuff sometimes. And then like out of the blue it'll send me something from Athlone and I'm like, I don't give a shit what's going on at Athlone. I was like, I keep getting Cork BO because I open their ones once or twice and I'm like, all right. Then it gives me some article about Cork and how Cork is and I'm like, I don't care.
Actually, yeah, I was getting those Cork ones for a while. I must have opened one of them once.
It happens to me sometimes, well, out of the blue, it'll start giving me football results or something. I'm like, I don't like, just because I looked up if Liverpool had won a game once, like, I don't want Google football results. I don't even care that much if Liverpool are winning. I'll just get something like I remember one day I was like, it was like live score, Germany versus the Netherlands, and I was like, why?
Well, you can actually turn those off, which I
Yeah,
figured out.
why can't it give me the rugby ones? I'd be more happy if like I found out a random rugby result.
I know. I just don't want to know any of it, to be honest. So I'm like, bye. So I think, yeah, because of that, I've been actually afraid of my phone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which fair, but also crazy that we have these things in our pockets that like are causing us this much stress, but we're actually so attached to them that we can't let them go. It's like so messed up.
Also true.
And you have decided to take a break from alcohol. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so this goes back to what I was saying there, but like, if your mental health struggling and you're like there's a lot of stress in your life, like identify one. So I know myself I need to take a break from time to time because I sometimes my habit of it is I get into a bad habit of it and I have stuff to do, and instead of doing it I use it as my own little self-sabotage. I go get drunk and then I'm hungover the next day, and I've seen that cycle kind of creep back in again. So what I do is I just go, right then, I'm just not gonna drink. It helps because stuff like that, like when I do that to myself, then my anxiety gets worse because I'm like, oh look, fucking did that again, and then it's like a little it's a bad cycle, and I've identified that as a bad cycle, and I said, right, 1 month off, and come back to it. You get back into your routines, different things, and then by the end of the month, the stuff that I was maybe using it to avoid, I'll probably have made them part of my routine and be used to it, and then I can reintroduce it. And plus, Christmas is coming, so
It is.
I don't. I'm not. This is the last mention I'm having of it. I'm done.
I like Christmas. It's okay.
I hate Christmas.
I sometimes I like it, sometimes I hate it. I've actually been both.
No, I'm a Grinch. So I'm done with it now. Halloween's coming. I'm so more interested in Halloween. Halloween is so much more better this year because it's the last day of Six Nations now, which I've been waiting for like 6 months to happen. I swear to God, if we go into lockdown and those games get cancelled, I'm out. I'm done.
I like this time of year, like when it starts to get wintry again and like you see the darker days and the shorter days. I'm like, oh yes, I love this. It's like this is my time. Autumn, winter is my time. But it is a bit hard, I guess, now that we only have outdoor dining, working in a restaurant. So it's like, I think for the first time, like now seeing the wintry days coming in, I'm like, oh no, because I'm afraid for my job,
Yeah.
and like that people won't want to eat outside. But please just do.
Conversely, like I'm the opposite. Like
Restaurant.
I hate the winter, and it's another way for me to adjust to the darkness as well. As like that's another reason for me to take off alcohol and stuff like that. Like let me just get used to it instead of like being cranky and then on top of that being hungover and stuff like that. So because I'm always fucking cold. I hate it.
Oh, you need to get yourself a hot water bottle.
I own hot water bottles.
Do you know? I walk around my house with mine. Never cold because my hot water bottle.
I just wear blankies all the time.
Yeah, but
It's just
these
more
hot
like
water
work and stuff
bottles.
like that because like I'm not exactly in the warmest place and I can't really turn on the heaters during classes because people will give out.
That's fair.
I don't deal well with cold. I never have, and then I'm not a big fan of the dark and the dreary weather. So like I'm really like a sun person or a brightness. Like it helps me. It's all right. Like I'll get through it. Like I was actually listening to a podcast last week and it was really funny and it was a good point and it was like, okay, so if you move to basically if you live somewhere like here where it's always wet and windy, there's three things you can do. You can move, you can accept it, and I can't remember the third one, but like basically it was like either move or accept it because like you can moan about it all you want, but it's not going to change anything.
Very true. And it's actually our seasons are they're meant to change. Like we're not meant to have one season all of the time. And it's just I always think it's because like nature takes that time to like turn inwards and like the leaves fall off the trees, like everything goes to sleep kind of. I always feel like everything's just a little bit more sleepy.
Mm.
And so I kind of use that as my opportunity to do that too. I'd like try and move with the seasons. But I think I'm just more of that kind of person. Like I'm just more of a like cozy indoor person. And yeah, so it just suits my personality better. And then in the winter, or sorry, in the summer, it's more like, woo, let's go do this, let's do this, yeah. And then I'm like, too much. It's too much. I just want my book and my blanket, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do understand though, because I feel that stress in the summer. I don't feel the like dreary thing. Like honestly, lovely rainy grey days make me actually feel really nice. And I know so many people find that like makes them feel quite bad, and I just do not have that experience. But I do get in the like, I think it's like an overstimulation. It's like too much. It's like hot and bright and everyone's wearing shorts and it's just like go away. I just too much.
I love wearing shorts.
So do I.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't hate it as much as I used to. I've kind of learned, I guess, as you're like learning to accept the winter and deal with it by, you know, stopping drinking, coming into it slowly, giving yourself a chance. I've learned to enjoy the summer months as well by just actually not giving a shit. And if I want to stay inside and have my blanket and my book, that's fine. Just because it's sunny doesn't mean I have to go outside.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I get that. Like I wouldn't begrudge anyone who wants to sit inside on a sunny day. I like to be out there because I'm little love getting a tan and stuff like that and stuff. But yeah, like if you want to sit in, you want to sit in. Like, and if you want to go out in the lashings of rain, you go out in the lashings of rain, which I really don't like doing either because I hate rain.
I don't mind a walk in the rain. I hate getting wet at the start of the day or something, and then you have to like go to work or whatever, and you're freezing all day. I do not like this. But if I'm like it's raining and I want to go for a walk, I'll 100% like wrap up and go for a walk. I like swimming in the rain. That's quite
Really
nice.
interesting. I've literally always hated rain or being in the rain or getting wet. Well, yeah, no, I don't know what it is. I've always just been like, nope, don't like you.
Well, it looks pretty nice today. Pretty bright, I think. I see some
Absolutely.
blue sky.
My blinds are down, I can't see anything.
Little gremlin.
Yes, I'm loving Gremlin life.
Oh, my gremlin life I have to get up now. I have to go to work. Serve all the tables outside. Actually love it.
I don't have to leave my house till just before 10.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm getting my hair done and then I get to walk off.
I
I
actually get
I only work in the
lunch.
evening today.
Oh, that's nice. Every Tuesday now. Or what day is it? Thursday.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh no, I don't want to like lose my 6 a.m. And now I'm like, oh yes, this is great. I get up at like just before my 9 a.m. Zoom.
And then you have the whole day to chill.
Yeah. Well, I've work to do
Gorgeous.
today, which I'll get done.
All right, Chrissy. Well, we'll probably leave it there today.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of sum up for everyone, to kind of make sense of our ramblings, what we really wanted to share the message of today is just that I know everything is a bit uncertain and it is tough, and we really do appreciate that, but there is some things maybe that you can do to help with that uncertainty. For example, get off your social media or delete it altogether. Maybe identify any trigger for anxiety or your mental health in general. For example, maybe you need to stop drinking. And maybe we all need to just take a big deep breath together and stop fucking complaining.
What a fantastic sign off. I really enjoyed that. I have nothing to add to that. That was fantastic.
Oh, Yvonne is so lovely.
Dawn is the
Unless
hippie.
you're in
She's
therapy.
straight talking now.
If you're in therapy, you're allowed to moan.
Yeah, well, that's like you're paying to moan, aren't you?
It's the best.
Right.
All right. Well, great chats today as always. And it's looking like we have a nice little schedule for ourselves now. So hopefully this will be a weekly thing again.
Yeah. Also, just, I know you're off social media, but I'm still here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
She's like, there's no social media. We will not mention it on the podcast anymore.
Social media doesn't exist.
So, yeah, if you're looking for me, you'll find me on Instagram at Chrissy H Fitness. And I'm still on TikTok yet. I haven't posted a video in weeks. So that's Chrissy H Fit. And that's the social media you want to keep, because that's the fun one.
What's going on TikTok these days?
I have not been on it. I have no idea. I really need to go on it because I need some happiness.
Oh, do you know what though? Even TikTok started to get stressful.
Ugh.
Like I was loving just watching dads do dances and stuff. And now I'm like, no, now this is stressful. Like I'm done. Like
Right, well hopefully TikTok will give you a bit of joy. If not.
I'll stop moaning about social media now. Okay, I'm sorry. I know some people like it. It's fine.
Do you want to give your ones, or will we just say you're still
Oh,
MIA?
don't bother, to be honest. Like, you won't find me there. I'll let you know again if I ever come back.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. The podcast is Why Not podcast. I haven't been on it lately to supply you with any information. So I would say if you're looking for podcast stuff, just kind of head Chrissy's way for now, and I may come back eventually.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, have a lovely day, have a lovely week, and I will chat to you soon.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you again for listening to the Why Not podcast. Because remember, in a world where everybody asks why, we're here to ask why not.